Let's talk about how Scientology news has gone global and not the way that Scientology wants. Bill Maher is talking Scientology and protests have gone global. Hey, everybody, and welcome. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult. Hello to everybody there in the chat. So great to see you. Hello as well to the members. I truly appreciate your support, and big aloha and thank you to the moderators who help us out. We have so much news to get through today. Hopefully we have time because I wanted to tell you guys about my weekend, but I think I might have to do a separate video about it because there's so much going on right now in terms of Scientology news. I can hardly stand it. Can you tell I'm excited? I know I'm awfully excited for a Monday morning, but I am. In part because of my weekend, which maybe I'll tell you later, or I'll do a separate video. We're also going to get into a little bit more Rebecca Minkoff, Real Housewives of New York news. That's going to be a little bit later, so stay tuned. Some juicy stuff coming up. Right now, let's go over and check out. If you guys have not seen this video, please go and watch it because there's a lot of great information in there. There's a video that Fat GRAMMY did with Audit LA, both of them are here on YouTube, about a new proposed law in California that's they're getting elected officials to look at. In fact, I think it's been accepted by the California Assembly. You guys need to hear about this. This is in California. Maybe we can do this in other states as well. And they've done a lot of work on this. So we're going to take a look at what they have to say about their inspiration for it and how this can actually and will affect Scientology. So this is, again, Fat GRAMMY here on YouTube and Audit LA. And they're talking about how in the Sea Org and in Scientology staff, why it's actually not illegal to not pay them the way Scientology does. Because Scientology does what? Hides behind being a religion, being a church, and all of those things. So let's check this out.
But unfortunately, that's completely legal as a religious entity to pay your volunteer ministers whatever they want to pay them, and it can be under 18. So there's already laws. They're following the laws of their volunteer ministers. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do because the law's on their side. So we need to reverse that, and that's why we decided to make this law. Yeah, right, Ganja Girl, it is. It's more of an allowance than a pay.
And can I interject that with that $47 a week, they still make the person buy their own toiletries. So how are you going to save up to move out if you want to leave if you have to still buy your shampoo, your soap, your toothpaste, your toothbrush? They can't even provide.
Exactly. So not only is it not illegal to only pay Sea Org members, taking away $47 a week, Audit LA is correct. When I was in the Sea Org, I remember we had to pay for it, not just our own toiletries, you guys. Listen to this. Laundry. It was coin-operated laundry. As a Sea Org member dedicating 1 billion years of my life to Scientology and forwarding the aims of L. Ron Hubbard, they couldn't even do my laundry. Couldn't even help a girl out with laundry. Had to buy my own laundry detergent. Had to pay for my own laundry. I forget how much it was, but I remember having to get quarters to put in it. Seriously. I don't know if that is still the case, but it was when I was there. Okay, now let's take a look at, let's see here. They're going to explain this a little bit more and do such a better job than I could explaining it. So let's take a look at this.
To try to get legislation, because we have to, protesting is great and it's needed and it's necessary. It gets attention drawn to the problem, but the problem actually needs to be rectified and dealt with. And the best way to do that is, yes, to get legislators involved. So yes, we can ask them to, and we should be asking them to look into revoking their tax exempt status, anything like that. But I'm also like, there needs to be certain laws. And I came to, Mona, and I said, we need to get some laws. And, I know certain people, let's try to hook up with them. But what law needs to be done? What do we need to do?
That's exactly what they ended up doing. And there is a proposed new law to force Scientology to provide transitional services. And actually, it's not just Scientology. This would other organizations or groups or maybe even churches would fall under the same thing. And this is where they actually say what the law is and what the proposed new law would do in California.
Any volunteer minister leaving or dismissed, or a youth leaving or dismissed after a 5-year period would be due transition services paid from the organization. Transition services to include obtaining new or replacement documents, schooling, GED, college classes, housing assistance, job placement assistance, transportation assistance. This could be obtained through the State Workforce Development Center as wraparound services and reimbursed by the organization.
So interesting because, I mean, this would basically mean if this law passes in California, where the CR would need to provide these transitional services, which is so much of what the issue is. This is why organizations like the SPTV Foundation and the Aftermath Foundation exist to help with those transitional service after somebody has left Scientology. This would be huge. And in California, even though it's one state, that is where so many Sea Org members are and located there and in Clearwater and other places as well overseas. So this is a great start. It's amazing what they're doing. Please do subscribe to their channel so you can stay on top, because I know they will keep sharing news about this as it moves along, and especially when more elected officials are looking at it. And they also shared there is a need for letters of support and kind of like, if this has happened to you, share your story. So let's take a little look at that.
At this point, we would really like to have letters of support, or maybe even start the Me Too movement of, yep, this happened to me, so that way we can get a count on. It would be nice to have this followed through with other states or even federally.
It so would. Can you imagine? But it's a first step. It's a first step. It's a great action in the right direction. So please do check them out. I just can't wait to hear more about this. It's Mike Sandoval. They will just work harder to keep people from leaving. Let me tell you, I don't think they work about as hard as they can right now and have to keep people from leaving. It's sure possible they could try harder, but I don't know why. I mean, trying harder will just get them in more trouble because what they already do is so ridiculous. But that's a good point, Mike. That's a good point. It'll give us more of a reason. It will be exposed. It will be exposed. Okay, so Confident Chris, you guys, is outside the blue buildings all the time, pretty much every day, live streaming and protesting Scientology and exposing what he sees. So you would think that many around there would recognize him and know who he is, being that he's there all the time. But no, there was a Scientologist, I'm pretty sure a Sea Org member, who mistook Confident Chris for a delivery person. A delivery person. So check this out.
I need to drop off over there now.
Drop off over there?
Over there where that gate is.
I'll drop this off if you drop off Phil Anderson with us.
What's that?
I'll drop this off there if you drop off Phil Anderson for us.
And for those of you who don't know, Phil Anderson is the father of Lara FM, who is practicing Scientology's enforced harmful practice of disconnection and is not communicating with his daughter, who would love to communicate with him.
All right, watch out. There's a car coming.
Look at that. Chris is still looking out for this guy. I just love it.
he thought I was me, bro. How do you not recognize me, man? I'm here every day. You got memory issues or something? What is what is wrong with you? I take that very, very offensive.
I thought it was so funny, but I love that Confident Chris turned the tables on him. How great was that? I'll go drop this off if you drop off Phil Anderson. And I'm pretty sure if that guy eats, because Phil Anderson, last we heard, does work in the galley, in the dining room, very much knows who that is. And he's been around for a long time. And it is a small world in the Sea Organization, especially today. Especially today. I just love that. That just cracked me up. Okay, now let's go look. Where are we going? Let's go to Austin, where HITZEL was outside protesting and live streaming Scientology. And Austin put out a new sign. So are they being more welcoming to the public in general? No, I'm pretty sure everyone is not welcome. Let's take a look at this.
Hilarious. Crazy, yeah.
Yep. I don't think all are welcome there in Austin, but it is good to see HITZEL out there out there sharing and showing us what's happening. The great thing about live streaming in front of Scientology is how so many people can see how these ideal organizations, ones that have won the L. Ron Hubbard birthday game, have nothing going on, nothing to see here, literal crickets. Cue the crickets. I need crickets. I need a cricket button. I need to learn how to do that. Okay, so, but you get it? It's like they get to see that. And it goes so far with people who are still Scientologists or who are, well, under the radar Scientologists, which are people who want to leave Scientology, but are taking it slow because they might have financial reasons, family reasons, so many reasons to not just leave or publicly leave Scientology anyways. So I love that. I love that this is being shared. Let's go over to Portland, where Rica was out protesting Scientology in Portland and doing the same thing, getting the word out and educating public too, who are so supportive. And look, you can see the Scientology staff member at the door there watching this go on. Hold on a second. Let's take a look at this.
Hi. I love it. Yes, Scientology's a cult. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Give it a Google. It's the Scientology's infiltration of the U.S. government over like 60 branches. Yeah.
I know they own a lot of property in that.
They're a property tax scam. Yep.
It's amazing how what tidbits the public pick up on in regard to Scientology, or why it's a cult, why it's a human trafficking cult. And it's so great that she shares with them what the deal is. And, you know, I've been keeping on Portland because you know how you kind of get to know the people there? The protesters get to know the staff. And I feel like we kind of get to know the staff through them. And I spend more time than I should thinking about this one girl, Tammy in Portland, that Rica sees on the regulars and lets her know she's still in the cult. And I got to admit it, I love it, but I would love to see Tammy leave. How great would that be? What a full circle moment if Tammy would leave Scientology and come over and talk to Rica.
Appreciate it.
Oh, hold on. That is not the right one there. Hold on a second. You know what? Let's look at the chalk tech first, and then I'm going to share the other video. I need to go find it again. Hold on a second. There we go. I fixed it. We were having a little technical difficulty. So let's take a look at this.
Hey, Tammy. Still in a cult, babe. We can help you get out. There are multiple foundations out here that can help you get out of your cult. We're way more fun than the cult.
We're way more fun than the cult. It's so true. But she sees Tammy out there. We've been seeing Tammy for a while. And frankly, I'm worried about Tammy. I'd like to see Tammy leave. But I have to admit, I do love it when Rica says, "You're still in a cult, Tammy." I don't know why. It just gets me every single time. It just gets me. It does. Okay, now let's take a look here at some fun chalk tech that they had going on as well in Portland.
Gosh, you guys, just it's really bad down here today. I do have a list of questions for them.
We have questions.
We ain't gonna get no answers.
This one's great. OT 9 and 10 don't exist. Now, to a passerby who doesn't know anything about Scientology, that doesn't mean anything. But to Scientologists, it means everything. Operating THETAN levels 9 and 10 on Scientology's bridge to total freedom are the carrot that's held out to expand Scientology. Because then David Miscavige is saying he will release operating THETAN levels 9 and 10. Well, here's the truth of it. They don't exist. And if he does eventually release something one day, that guy wrote it himself. He probably wrote it himself in some closet somewhere. Like, what would operating Thetan level 9 and 10 be like? I don't know. Maybe the body Thetans come back, right? You got rid of all your body Thetans, but they came back, and now you need more Scientology auditing to get rid of them. Because if you got rid of all of the body Thetans on operating Thetan level 8 in Scientology, that's supposed to be like the real first OT level, operating Thetan level, because you really find out who you are and it's positive gain from there. What it's just such a bunch of BS. But writing OT 9 and 10 don't exist where Scientologists can see it, big eye opener. Because they might just wonder, one, how do you know about it? How do you know about OT 9 and 10? How do you know? It's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, let's go to Chicago. Oh my gosh, so much happening. Oh, Chicago was just like next level with what was going on. There was some kind of lunch. Windy City Thetan Watch was there. A bunch of people were there. We're going to take a look at that. But first, we'll see what Windy City Thetan Watch shares with some Scientology staff members.
Are you still mocking your own reactive mind? You should stop that. If you stop that, you'd be clear. Do you have anything positive to share about your church? Es una secta? Nothing positive about the cult? If you want out anytime, let me know. I can help you.
Yep, they were having some kind of party, some kind of get together. People were showing up with food, and Windy City Thetan Watch and others were there too. You know, Scientology hands out all kinds of propaganda material, and some of the protesters will go and collect it back from people or pick it up when they see it littering the streets, as was the case in Chicago.
So somebody had a Scientology Direct TV, so they were passing out the business card here. On how did I not see this, right? So again, I don't think that I have to be out here doing this job, because I think that the people are smart enough not to come down here. But yeah, we're definitely seeing people are throwing out.
And I love that because, you know, Scientology is going to hate that. They're going to hate a lot of things. You know what they're really going to hate? If you hit the like button of this video and subscribe. And if you really want to piss them off, set that notification bell to all. But Windy City Thetan Watch caught a few things, including a frustrated Scientologist who was told to reverse course. Here's the thing, right? Scientologists will often like call inside of the org and be like, there's a protester behind me. There's someone live streaming. What do I do? What do I do? As we saw in another video, Aaron Smith Levin was trapped in an elevator with one of them here in the Twin Cities, and it was next level hilarious. It's actually one of my favorite clips. So this woman is out there and she's obviously being told, no, now go to the other door, where she just walked around the building, and you can see how frustrated she is. Can you imagine being the member of a church and you can't even go in the front door? You have to go into other doors because people are out there live streaming or asking questions.
Down the alley, right? So I wonder, so she's upset. I don't know if you're seeing that. Yeah, I think you'll be able to see it clearly. I don't know if she's being told to come back to the org. That
You can tell she's still on the phone with the flailing of the arm. She's like, what the heck? So she has to go all the way around again. And girl is not happy. That woman is just not happy about it. Little did she know what would be waiting for her in the front of Scientology Chicago. You guys got to see this. I love the costumes. In fact, I think that's Korn wearing the alien costume. I have one just like that in my Amazon cart, and I'm getting very close to pulling the trigger because I absolutely love it. Let's see what we got here. And that's Scotty in the orange Stan, or is it Stan? No, it's Kenny. That's Scotty in the Kenny costume. I think that's Corn with the alien. And I want to say, is that Juanita who's wearing the squirrel costume? I don't know if we'll see her again there. Oh no, that's not Juanita. That's name is slipping me. Wendy, can you put it up in the chat? It's something Nana, right? But I just love this. That is the costume that I want back there with the alien. I want one of those so bad, but I thought this was funny. So can you imagine that woman going around the back of the building? Never in Nana. Okay, never in Nana. Thank you so much, Mary James. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? Paralyzed to paralyzed. That was hilarious. Oh, I just loved it so much. It was so great. Okay, never in Nana is the squirrel. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. It's so great. Oh, I want to get that costume. I think I just might. I feel like I'm going to need a couple. Oh, poof, 911. It's a clip. In fact, if you go to Aaron's channel and you look under shorts, you probably got to scroll back, but it's the most hilarious thing. I've shared it like 2 times and I will probably share it again because I love it so much. I just can't stand it. Okay. Speaking of AA Ron, this is hilarious. Windy City THETAN Watch thinks, you know what? Let's let Scientologists know that we know that there have been no new people into Scientology since the Chicago organization opened. And opened, by the way, Chicago opened a much fanfare by Scientology, but reports are showing, people are saying, word on the street is nobody's joining Scientology in Chicago. So check this out.
I'm gonna play the.
And the people that I've been in touch with have said not a single brand new person has gotten into Scientology in Chicago since the grand opening.
Not a single brand new person has entered Scientology in Chicago since the grand opening.
Behind these walls lies the promise of
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
But why do they hide?
Yep. Love that. Love that he's sharing it. And some of you might, the audio was a little low there, but it was Aaron sharing that bit about no new Scientologists joining Scientology in Chicago, which is, you think if they look around, they would see and know that. But a lot of them, it's like this, right? They just got these blinders on and explanations for why that they can't share because their Scientology overlords will be like, no, you're just not working hard enough. Rice and beans for you. Yep, completely. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Okay, so there's a guy that the Scientology recruiters are trying to get their claws in. You guys, it just cracks me up. I just love how Wendy does this. Check it out.
The person that DOA was talking to.
And by the way, nobody's going to outrun Wendy because he is a runner. He runs for fun, something I don't understand, but apparently people do it to keep in shape. I'm a walker myself. I always say, if I'm running, you better look behind me. It means I'm being chased.
Yeah. Did they let you know about the human trafficking and the idea that Danny Masters sends in jail for 30 years to life, but he's still a member in good standing of that church because he raped 3 of their members? The members who went forward to the police, talking to anybody who wants to listen to fun stories about the cult of Scientology.
So Wendy talks to the gentleman and lets him know all about it. Meanwhile, the Scientology staff members do a little bit of a divide and conquer because Wendy can't follow both at the same time, or so they think. All right, now we are going to go over to Australia where, oh my goodness, I hope you guys have been following this. What's been happening in Australia, what happened with their protests. If not, you about to find out. You are going to find out. Wendy says the staff and civilian are chatting and laughing before I approach. That's right. Then you showed up and you just like busted down that party. Wendy shows up at this party and it's like a dirty diaper. For Scientology, for the rest of us, it is a breath of fresh air. Love it. Love that you do that. Okay, so Australia, let's go over there and let's look at a clip from Perth Scientology audit to give us a look at who was there and what was happening during this protest.
This is the lovely Dawn. Hello. Dawn, why are you here today?
Because I've been following Scientology and the atrocities that go on there for several years. And I just found out that this place was here in Melbourne, and I'm a Melbourne girl, so I'm coming out to support those people wanting to leave.
And we appreciate you being here, really appreciate it. Sorry, you have to repeat because there's loads of people coming in and out. Hello. This is Electric Boogaloo.
Hello.
What's your sign say? No more kids on cares. Yeah. And why are you here today?
Because I feel as if, you know, the next generation, we have to step up and we have to protest about what we, you know, feel passionate about and go against the abuses, because if we don't, who else will?
Yes.
And I don't have the trauma of being an ex-Scientologist, so I feel like the community needs to step up for these people who are let down. So.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. You've got two signs.
I do.
This is the lovely Dawn.
Love that. Love that. Now let's take a look at a clip. This is from Scientology Australia, who is also there at the protests. Let's take a look.
Hey, Astro.
You can't type back. So there is another entrance, isn't there? This looks like maybe what, hang on.
They've closed blinds down here.
Yeah.
Hi, there's a camera right there. My shoes are soaked.
See. Yeah, my feet are going to be wet as well. Let's just see.
Hi, where is the lamb? Yeah, so there's a bunch of us Australians now that are doing it. All of us, most of us have flown from Sydney, from Brisbane,
So I can't type in the chat.
Isn't that amazing? From all over. It just was so fantastic. Let's take a look at what happened when Miriam Francis, who was there also, Rage Against the Dark Arts is her channel here on YouTube, when they went up to the door. They went up to the door and they spoke to a Scientology staff member who obviously did not get the memo because this guy was a little chatty, I feel like. So you guys are going to watch this clip and tell me what you think. I was like, oh, he's new to this.
They are great role individuals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we don't have to be a member of the team. Yeah.
First thing he tried to do was like, who's your group? You're here with a group? You're here with a group? What's the deal?
Sure. But you are right now, and obviously you don't here with the good intentions. So
because if you disagree with Scientology, there's no way you can be good intentioned. That's the thought in Scientology, is that if you're critical of Scientology, you have crimes that they need to uncover.
The best of intentions. We don't feel like kids should be subjected to interrogations in locked rooms. Yeah, we object to that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay. Is this going to OSA?
And he agrees that kids should not be, they should not be getting interrogations, which is like, what? I mean, it's good that he agrees to that, but I think this might be the first time if he really meant it.
It's going on my phone.
What's your role? Oh, HCO exec sec. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is the foundation arm. Okay.
Yeah.
You're FEBC trained?
I love this so much because that's Miriam Francis, who, if you have not heard her story, you need to. Again, her channel was Rage Against the Dark Arts. And with everything that she went through and the battle that she's been fighting to seek justice for what happened to her, there she is, just standing there. That cannot be easy. I know it's not easy. I know when I go to protests, I enjoy doing it, but it takes some processing. It takes something out of you when you're going back, especially to the place, Scientology, the organization that's responsible for so many of the horrors that happened in your life. I give her so much credit for doing this. And I love her standing there in her strength, in her independence, questioning this guy and even letting him know that she knows. I know what your job is. I see you. I know.
Oh, are you one of the people that just come from Flag with the new? You got
I'm not
fired.
going to talk about it right now, but you guys think you leave, you are
You've been
trespassing.
newly fired
I'm not going to talk about it right now. You're trespassing.
from Flag.
No, I
Fired
understand.
out on the mission.
So you are trespassing now on the ground, so you got to leave.
Yeah, no
Yep.
worries. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cool.
I just hope you see.
And they're just so friendly. They're just so friendly. But I thought that was beautiful. Such a beautiful moment. I love that. That's right. She really stood up to him and she held her ground and she just held her space. Oh, I just love it. Love it so much. Okay, so let's see. We got another one here from Reconnecting from her stream when Miriam Francis was chatting with Poe on the Go on the beauty of connection. Let's see. Check this out.
Great to see you smiling and happy. The
Oh,
turnaround is amazing.
yeah, thanks everyone for the support and joining us here. We just feel so loved and supported
Yeah, we
and
do.
embraced, and this has been such an incredible experience, like connecting with people and coming together as a community. So it's been just amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it
I
is.
really feel like Melbourne or Australia has joined the world in this current
Officially,
officially we've joined the world in protesting Scientology.
Yeah.
Love that. Absolutely love that. And then, of course, you know that the police showed up. And wait till you hear what happened when the police showed up. Scientology is not going to be happy about this. I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're not. But here's what happened.
We had the police come in very early in the day. They came and they were really beautiful, actually. They were really respectful. Miriam was able to talk to them. Of course, they couldn't give an opinion on Scientology. However, when they drove off, tell them what happened.
They honked at us because we have a sign that says like honk
There
if you
you
think
go.
it's a cult, and they went honk, 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 honk. Yeah. And it was funny because when they pulled up, there was two cars that pulled up, two cop cars, and they were already smiling like as they were getting out of the car. Like they already knew kind of what the deal was, I think. So that was really funny.
I just love that. Hong Kong, the police are actually showing them support, and it's a beautiful thing. Jim Kohler, happy birthday to you. It's your 53rd. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Okay, let's see here. We looked at that. Now, we need to talk about Denmark. Let's talk about Denmark and everything that's happening. If you guys have been following my channel and others, you then might already be familiar with Scientology up north, L. Ron Hub cult, Bianca, the SP chef, and others who have been protesting out in Denmark. Well, there is an article that is out that is on the front page of Denmark's largest newspaper about Scientology and one of Scientology's victims. And though it needs, for most of us, it needs to be translated. And Mirjam, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Scientology up north, she did do that. We're going to take a look at a couple clips of what she is sharing about it.
But I will get into it later, what this is actually related to. So let me just open the article. And basically the headline just says that he was a child, but worked from 9 to 11 every day. Now he calls Scientology the modern slavery. And he's basically sharing his whole story. And I was, when I was doing the translation, I could see, I think it was like 6,000 words combined with the two articles. So this is a huge reportage. It's on the front page of the biggest newspaper in Denmark, so it's absolutely amazing. And
truly amazing, truly amazing. Then she shares more. This is something that I did not know, that there is a new book out today about children in the Sea Org, the experience of someone's their story growing up in the Sea Org.
There's a small text box in the middle of the article, and this is something that's going to happen next week. On August 19th, there's going to come out a book called The Hotels of the Darkness, The Children in Scientology, which is a testimony to the high price that children had to pay when the adults' ideology turns into fanaticism. The book was written by defector Scientologist Robert Dam, who left Scientology in 2004. Berlingske has come into contact with Cyril CK via Robert Dam. The information in the articles about the rise and development of Scientology originates, among other things, from the darkness
That is so true. So again, just so much happening. I linked down below. Also for Australia, I tried to grab as many clips. Thank you so much, you guys, for sending me clips and timestamps. You can send them to Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. Let me know what I'm looking at. It's so helpful, and you want to go and really take it all in. So if you have an opportunity, links down below, go check out those videos in their full, because it was incredible what was happening and what happened this past weekend with protesting Scientology. Now, the other day I did a video with Oh No Nora. Did you guys catch it? Show of hands if you caught the video. If not, you can catch it on the replay. And I wanted to share a clip from that because we were talking about a few things. Are there trad wives, also known as traditional wives? It's been a popular topic on YouTube as of late because of Mormon trad wives, as they're called, traditional wives, and how that relates to, is it culty the way that they're doing it? What is the deal? So Nora and I talked about, is there a version of a Scientology trad wife? And we got into what happened with Dr. Eric Berg, who's a YouTuber here. He is also a Scientologist, though I question how active he is as a Scientologist, especially after watching some of his videos with his wife, whose name is Karen. And then she literally acts like a Karen, writes reports on him, and even like Grant Cardone. It's hilarious. You got to see it. But let me share this clip. Let's see, with Oh No Nora.
Just 2D flowing, everybody.
Yeah.
You're a terrible human being. You are attempting to throw everybody off with your sexuality. Like this, and this is not something that's like, let's be honest, this is not something that's just prevalent in Scientological thing. This is something that's prevalent in society, that women in general, let's be real, get judged on our looks. We get judged on our instantly on our looks, our demeanor, how we're carrying ourselves, the way we speak, and all these other things. So in regular society, it's the same. If you come into a room as a woman feeling powerful, feeling confident, being assertive, you are a bitch, you are cold, you are mannish, you are not feminine. Just 2D flowing, everybody.
Nora really she does an entire, I would say, practical TED talk on female anatomy and how those things work. So if you're interested in that too, that towards the end of the video, and she's just hilarious. Oh No Nora needs to seriously be doing some stand-up. That's what I think. I think absolutely she needs to. Truly. I need to see that. I need that in my life. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, and speaking of stand-up and comedians, well, I guess he's not really a comedian, but Bill Maher here was talking to kids about Scientology. He does this thing, Bill Maher talks to kids, and the topic of Tom Cruise and Scientology came up, and this is what happened.
Tom Cruise, but he is a Scientologist. Now, so I don't know if you know about Do you know about Scientology?
Scientology, no. I'm only going to be in like third grades yet, so.
Well, trust me, that's the level of the Scientologist. No, I kid the Scientologist. It's a religion, a modern religion that came along just in the last century. So they really knew better. But they believe some interesting things, like the world is 12 trillion years old, which is impossible.
Well, it's kind of not impossible because when cavemen in real life, and they're like fighting with like bones because they always would try to get meat from stuff.
I love that this girl who is in third grade is just debunking Scientology's origin story. Even a third grader knows that Scientology is BS. Casey Cat, thank you for the super sticker. I dare Nora to do stand-up. That's right. We need to dare her to do it. And then she will probably go ahead and do it. Oh my goodness. We should dare her to do it. That's so funny. I agree. And he said that little girl is so clever. Agreed. Okay. For this next clip, we got to wake up the Office of Special Affairs. And I know it's Monday. Wait, is it Monday? Yes, it's Monday. David Miscavige here, paging Office of Special Affairs. You're going to want to hear about this one because there is a tidal wave coming your way. And your statistic, I know you have to keep track of negative inches of press. I don't know how you track it on YouTube, but many, many, many people get reached by this, which reminder, hit the like button. Okay. Osa, now that we've woken you up, you got to watch this next clip with us because more and more people are going to be talking about this, right? Did you know that, David Miscavige? More and more people are going to be talking about Rebecca Minkoff and the Real Housewives of New York, but mostly they're going to be talking about Scientology. They're going to be talking about her family in Scientology. They're going to be talking about David Miscavige in Scientology. Office of Special Affairs, there just is a tidal wave of Scientology truth headed your way. Don't get too close. You're you too deflowing me. Be ready for it because it's coming. So let's take a look at this. This is an example. This is Ryan Bailey has a channel here on YouTube, and Jax Peterson is a gentleman who wrote an article about Rebecca Minkoff. And like I said, whether they talk about it or not on the show, and I think they're going to talk about it on the show. Here's why. I think that the Real Housewives of New York is going to talk about Scientology in this show. I don't think it's going to be off limits because it's going to be amazing for ratings. The fact that it played such a predominant role in the trailer, and there's so much press around her being a Scientologist and her dad, Dr. David Minkoff, and what he had to do with the death of Lisa McPherson and Whitney Mills, that's just not going to be, you just can't avoid it. So let's take a look at this conversation, one of many to come.
Get to another topic really quick, our last one, but I was reading an article that you wrote on the Daily Mail, and I think this will be interesting for the audience in terms of the new Roni, but you wrote an article about the new cast member.
And Roni, for those that don't know, is Real Housewives of New York.
Rebecca Minkoff. And I don't know if you're allowed to talk about the article. I mean, it's on his, I'll give you his like Instagram and all that, and you can read the article yourself on his link tree. But I think it's very interesting because I was one of those that a lot of the ladies already know who Rebecca Minkoff is. I'm a dude. I didn't. But then also her Scientology past was very interesting that this article brought up. What do you find fascinating about Rebecca Minkoff that we're going to meet?
Oh my God. Okay. So, I pitched that story originally thinking it would just be a little story just of like, okay, she's connected to Scientology, whatever. And then I dug into it. And, I'll be careful with what I say and how I word it because we know Scientology is very litigious, but
shout out David Miscavige.
Her father was look, first of all, her family, the Minkoffs, they are elite level Scientologists. These aren't just run-of-the-mill Scientologists. These are like heavy hitters.
OT level clear.
Oh, they've met Xenu, had fucking cocktails with Xenu, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Had cocktails with Xenu. Oh my gosh. This tip of the iceberg, truly tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so much. And this, my friends, is why I'm a huge supporter of Rebecca Minkoff being on the Real Housewives of New York, because this is just going to follow her. This is going to follow her. There's no way they're staying away from it. And let's say, okay, you're saying like, okay, Natalie, no, because they probably all had to sign something saying they wouldn't talk about Scientology. No, we know they didn't. Or if they did, they're not sticking to it because it was all over the trailer already. And then the trailer is usually when they put out some of their best stuff. So they want to know. They want to know what the people think if they want to see the Scientology part of it. And yes, they do. We do. We're here for it. So I made sure that I have Bravo because I didn't have it before, but now I have it so that I can be watching this. It's starting. You know what? I got to find out when it starts. I'm so bad like that. I'm like, I'm totally going to watch this, but I don't know when it happens. I know it's in the fall, so it's coming up soon. I will find out the date, but I'm hoping you guys will watch it with me because I want to talk about this. I will, of course, share the highlights from it, but hopefully there'll be some other people out there interested. Amber says, I hope Xenu paid for cocktails. Scientology up north. I'm so glad you're here. I have been in contact with the author, Robert Dam, today and told him that this book and the publicity it's getting is bringing hope to all ex-Sea Org children and the day of reckoning will come. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so true. That is so true. Scientology up north, can you put in the chat what is the name of the book? If you did, I didn't catch it. I know you said it on the video, but I couldn't quite make it out. I wanted to know what the name of the book is because I want to make sure. Well, actually, is it in English? Maybe, maybe not. I bet you somebody definitely comes out with an English version. But if you know the name of it, let me know. If you're here, you might also be live right now. Let's see here. Old Fritz says, surprised they didn't charge for using the toilet. So that's in regard to in the Sea Org being made to pay for your own laundry, your own, your shampoo, your body wash. And by the way, nothing scented. You cannot have anything scented in the Sea Org. So yeah, I'm surprised too they didn't charge to use the toilets, but they sure did make us clean them. Yep, they sure did. They sure did. Let's see here. Susie has a question. What does Scientology talk about in Sunday services? They go over the prayer for total freedom or some crap like that it's called, and they just read this passage from L. Ron Hubbard. They might specifically talk about something in the volunteer minister handbooks, take something out of there. They basically take a Scientology principle. We'll talk about it a little bit, but then we'll go over, here's all the reasons why we are a legitimate church. And none of it's true. Scientologists don't attend Sunday service. Scientology holds them to make it look and give legitimacy that they are an actual religion. But Scientologists only attend if they're forced to. If a staff member goes, hey, we need some bodies in the seats because we've got a VIP coming, or we have some new people coming. Can you come fill some seats to make it look like we actually attend? I'm not even joking. I've been asked to do this. I was asked to do this so many times in the Twin Cities too, when it would happen. Can you just fill a seat because we've got a VIP? Can you fill a seat because we've got people coming in and we want to look like we're at church? It's just ridiculous. It is. But yeah, that's basically what they talk about. Cheryl Moss, my daughter's in labor, just waiting. I'm so very excited to meet my grandchild. That is exciting. And if your grandchild is born today, I guess that would make a birthday the 19th. Tomorrow is my oldest birthday, Shelby, who you guys have heard her story. She shared her story on my channel and on Growing Up in Scientology with Aaron. It is Shelby's birthday tomorrow. Windy City Thetan Watch says, to all channel viewers, if you know the names of Scientologists on videos, please share them with the creators. It helps us have personal connections. That is such a great point. And that is often how their names are learned, through people, ex-Scientologists, or people who even know these people that maybe aren't Scientologists that see the video. And then when they can be addressed by name, it kind of breaks through, like, you know what I'm saying? It's more of a connection. I agree. Let's see. Oh, Corn Freak, who is out in Chicago, says, I heard the man on the phone being told that we are just interbulating. Then he and his wife left. Oh yeah, interbulating. Interbulating is Scientology is like, you're causing upset. You're causing dust up. Basically, you're spilling the tea about Scientology and you're upsetting us. All this truth, all the cognitive dissonance is more than we can handle. That's pretty much what they're saying. It's Mike Sandoval says someone could dress up like David Miscavige, but they probably don't make costumes that small. Okay, that is kind of funny, but we're not making the small jokes anymore because he cannot control his stature. Really, what's more of a problem with that guy is his attitude and his utter and complete lack of compassion. When you hear the stories shared, and you can read about it, Counterfeit Dreams is a book by Jeff Hawkins. He worked directly with David Miscavige, and David Miscavige charged across a table and physically attacked him. So many of those things. It's just, there's so many stories. There's been so much whistleblowing on it, and it needs to continue. We're going to be talking more about these stories, especially the books. I'm rereading a lot of the books I've read by people who've left Scientology, because there are a lot of stories in there. Some we talk about, some we don't. And I think it's just so important to be able to share that. And if you're reading a book about Scientology right now by an ex-Scientologist, or anyone for that matter, let me know. Tell me in the live chat, are you or have you read? What are some of your favorite books by people in the anti-Scientology movement? Maybe even not by ex-Scientologists, because there's many. I'd love to hear. And if you're watching this on the replay, please too share in the comments, what are some of the books you're reading or listening to, or that you have that you really enjoy? Because I want to make sure I have a goal to basically get through all of them. And some of them I have, but I'm doing them again because it's been such a long time since I read them for some. Stasia says, that was such a Dr. Ruth type episode. Maybe you and Nora can do Scientology, kinks, and desires. It really was. And that was the video that I did with Oh No Nora. I know, caught me by surprise too. But yeah, it was great. Nora just cracks me up. PK from AK says, I heard Nora telling her story before she had her channel. I said she should do stand-up. She could travel around the country doing stand-up comedy shows against Scientology. It would be awesome. Yeah, I love that idea. Let's get Nora on board. I love that idea. That'd be so great. Vanessa says, the unscented shampoo conditioner options were non-existent near my Sea Org base. So we all use Citri Shine, and chalked up the scent as natural. Sorry, my hair is like blowing into my mouth here. The menopause fan is blowing the wrong way. There we go. Yep. And when I was in the Sea Org, there was any of my ex-Sea Org friends here in the chat. Do you guys remember George's General Store? That is often where we would get our unscented products because they would share it, knowing they could cater to the people in the Sea organization who had to take their measly $47 a week and go buy deodorant, pay for laundry, get laundry soap, all of the things. Lori's asking, did David Miscavige get a GED? I don't know. Not that I'm aware of. I've not heard. He dropped out of high school like many of us did to join Scientology, to work for Scientology, or to be in the Sea organization. I highly doubt he ever got a GED because I just have not heard of that. If somebody knows any different, let us know. Let me know in the chat. Just because I didn't see it happen doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I'm not aware of it. I've not heard that, but now I'm interested too. I highly doubt it because Scientology doesn't value education outside of Scientology. So the leader, David Miscavige, it would make sense that he would not pursue a GED. When I left Scientology, literally the first thing I did was to do some schooling so I could get my GED, because I dropped out of school at 15 to go work for Scientology. And then shortly after that, joined the Sea organization. So I was 40 years old when I got my GED, and I've known many other ex-Scientologists, especially ex-Sea Org members, that go ahead and do that. And that is one of the things that this new law being proposed in California would help with, would be education after the Sea organization, because it's so important. And I really get why Scientology doesn't want Scientologists or Sea Org members to be educated, because that's how you keep people trapped. That's how you turn people into slaves, is you do not educate them. You do not share knowledge. You keep them under your control, and you keep them thinking that this is the only way, that Scientology is the only place with the solutions. I'm loving your book recommendations here. Tennessee Tier, Bad Cadet, Catherine Spolino. Yes, her sassiness shows. I'm listening to hers right now on Audible as well. There's just not enough time in the day, I swear. I really want to get through so many books. I just can't. Just not enough time. I am going to listen to some on my road trip that's coming up that I'm going to be sharing with you in a little bit. Let's see, where are we at on time? Okay, I'm probably going to jump on and do a video. I just want to update you guys on some things, including my upcoming road trip and what happened over the weekend. So keep an eye out, hit like, hit subscribe, set that notification bell to all, but only if you really want to piss off the Office of Special Affairs. Seriously, because if you hit the like button, they don't like it. They do not. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I will see you later today. And in the meantime, I hope you all get out and have a cult-free day.